Today I'm going to talk specifically about rabbit breeding for rabbit farmers. Yes. So people like me, we get up and we go and get any rabbit that looks white with the red eye, and we're like, okay, we got a New Zealand. I made some major mistakes when I was doing my first rabbit expedition, and I learned so much. Very expensive lesson, but you don't have to do the same, because I'm going to tell you today what you need to look out for, because it's been about a year and a half now, and I think I've gained a lot of experience dealing with getting breeding stock, and I've been able to build my own breeding stock. I can say confidently in Ghana, Rabbito Farmino is one of the big breeders in Ghana, because we have sacrificed sales. We are not chasing sales. We are not interested in just rushing and thinking of making money. We are rather interested in building the best breeds. And I'll explain, but let's look at 10 most important things that you should consider before going ahead to go and get your breeding stock. If you skip any of these, trust me, you will regret it. First on the list is the breed, as I hinted in the intro, and this is so important because we cannot decide a rabbit breed just by the coloration. Just because it's white or it's multicolored doesn't mean it's a Dutch, if Dutch is what you want to buy. And this brings it down to you buying from breeders, known breeders that are serious, like Rabbito Farmino, that will not sell you anything that we don't know. Number 2 on the list is you need to ask questions. Trust me, you are going to part company with your own hard-earned money. And if the seller hasn't got the patience to explain things to you, walk away with your money. This is your money, and this is an investment. So you need to ask, what's the lineage of this rabbit you're going to buy? Lineage means who is the mother, who is the grandmother, who is the father, who is the grandfather. Even if they are not there, ask the questions. You need to know that the mother is white and is giving birth to a black baby. 2 whites have given birth to a black baby. Then you know that within the lineage, you cannot be sure that this rabbit is a pure breed or a pedigree New Zealand, because you should not. It can happen, but it shouldn't happen that you buy a rabbit that is a product of 2 pure breeds, New Zealand whites, and then you get blacks in between the babies. So you have to ask the question, the lineage. The lineage will also give you the history of what you're buying. Trust me, you're buying something that is going to last. And that's why you don't just get up and go and buy any rabbit from anyone. Because yes, you might be lucky, but you might also be be walking into a trap that will probably mean you not make a return of your hard-earned money. So the lineage is very important. Now the next is for you to ask the mother and father. Now this is very important, because as rabbits reproduce, their genes get watered down. It's either improved or not improved. So it's very important for you to know the immediate parents of the rabbits you're buying. And I'm gonna give you something from my farm experience, right? We got rabbits that we started with as a breeding starting stock. She gave birth to 8. 3 weeks later, she died. Okay, we don't know. These things happen because there's a high risk of those having ovarian cancer and other hidden diseases. So the rates at which rabbits die after giving birth is a bit high. Also, some rabbits even die whilst giving birth. We've seen it all at Rabbito Farmino. So I'm speaking from experience. So if the mother is not alive, I will ask question, or I will be cautious in buying that rabbit. Now, we had a few of our starting stock that died soon after birth, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month, and they did not show any sign of sickness at all. They just died. You go there and they are eating, they are doing everything all right. You come in the morning and they are dead, and babies are still lactating. You need to ask the question, because what I found out is if I sell a baby from that litter of rabbit that mother passed after giving birth, you run a risk of inheriting whatever disease killed this rabbit. You may have a doe, a big size doe. We've had our doe that just died recently, Emma. She's a 70% New Zealand red. She is one of the ones that I pinpoint as this is one of the ones that I love the most. She died. She gave birth to 6. We came back in the morning and Emma was gone. Just like that. She was looking all fresh, nothing. There's no wetness in her bum that you say, oh, she's got diarrhea. She was eating all right the day before, but she just died. And then we look back, her mom died the same way. Her mom had 4 of them. 3 of them died. Emma was the only survivor, and one day we came, mom died. We, as serious breeders, now have concluded that Emma, anything that comes from that lineage should be discontinued. So Emma's kids are not going to be used, or are not going to be used as one of our breeding stock, or are not going to be sold to anyone, because that's the thing. Reputation is very important for us. It's very important for you to ask who is the mother and who is the father, and I'm warning you breeders, you have to be honest. There is no game here, because your reputation is on the line. You sell one bad stock to one person and you get blown out. Today's internet age, there is so many means of you being blown out in a way that you kill your own market because you're not honest. You have to be honest to everyone. Now, the next thing you should ask is how many of them were born. So if possible, you would like to see some of the siblings, if they are there. If they have been sold, that's fine. You still want to know how many. So if a rabbit's mom gives birth to, my number is anything from 5 upwards is a good number. If your dog gives birth to 5 and look after all of them, same as somebody whose rabbit gave birth to 10, lost 5 and 5 was left. So it's a hit and miss kind of thing. So with the numbers, you have to accept anything above 5. It is highly possible that if the rabbits give birth to 5, if the mother gives birth to 5 or 6 or 8, typical number in our farm is 8. Then you know that the baby will carry the mom's gene, and it's more likely that you are going to get litter sizes of that. The next one is you need to ask questions. What's the mother's age before giving birth? Because the first litter of every doe is normally low, but sometimes is not always the same. If the mother is an elderly doe or a young doe who is the first litter, second litter, then you know that doe is consistently giving birth to this number. We have a doe in our farm that gives birth to between 7 and 9. And she's given birth several times, and she's always within that range. And we because her daughter, as a first-time mother, she had 6. Actually, 2 of her daughters have 6 each. So we know that the number is only going to increase, because normally the first birth is less. So you need to find out about all these things. Very important for you, if possible, to see some of the siblings. And seeing some of the siblings, not necessarily holding them, but seeing them will give you a good judgment of how your rabbits is going to look like or how it's going to be like. It's very important for you to know that the siblings are also looking good, big, not just the one you are buying, but also the siblings. You need to ask some traits from the mother, at least the mother and father, because the genes is 50-50, mother 50, father 50. So you need to ask history of the father, if the father have bred with other females. Like we in our farm, we have Franco, who is our lead buck, who has bred with a lot of the females, and we know that when he breeds with the females, we are getting not less than 6. So we get between 6 and 10 liters from Franco. 50% of the genes also come from the back. We're talking about the doe, but the back is also very important, because we've done some matches where some backs are not compatible to some does. We've had situations where we've bred and all the litter dies. They were all doing very fine, and then suddenly they all faded out and died. The last one died after 3 months. Ask if the rabbits have got some known diseases. One of the biggest one is malnutrition. I can never pronounce this right, forgive me. Malnutrition, that's when their teeth keep growing and never goes off. I know rabbit teeth keep growing, but some are actually a defect. It's a pain, because eventually the rabbits will be in so much pain and you're going to lose them. Nobody wants to lose their rabbits in that way. If you are investing your money into something, please, please, please make the time, if possible, to go and pick it up yourself. Now, people have imported rabbit from South Africa, from very far away. They've gone to invest their money in there and they are selling it to you. So if they have been able to go to South Africa to bring pure breeds to you and you're buying from them, you need to go and inspect. And I'm talking from experience, because I've made some silly mistakes that I would rather you don't repeat the same mistake. You need to go and choose what you're buying with your hard-earned money. It's very important. Take the trip. Pay double the price of the rabbit you're going to buy. Go and inspect. Check the rabbit. Check that is formed properly. You buy what you're paying for, not what somebody sends you through the post or through a transportation, and then you go and then you're not really happy with it, but because it's been brought to you, you accept it. Now, there are technologies that can bypass it. We've got video calls, and we've got videos that you can send. When you're dealing with Rabbito Farmino, we know we are 100% genuine. We want to give you what will make you sing our praise and recommend us to the next guy, rather than make money from you and run away, because we want the praises, we want the recommendation from you. So we're making sure that we give you a product, an item that will make you profit and not loss. The last but not the least, you need to buy breeding stock not less than 4 months. Okay, this is very important. The last one is the most important one. Now, let me explain to you. Rabbit babies, we've got categories. So when a rabbit gives birth, we've got the ones that don't make it. Maybe they live maximum a week. That's because they are not fully formed and their body cannot just develop, right? The term that we use for that is peanuts. They are peanuts. And if you hold a baby rabbit, you will see they've got like a small shape back, and you can tell that they are smaller than usual among the whole litter. Sometimes you can get 1 or 2. They don't last. When you lose them, don't be sad about it. They're just not fully formed. Now, the second one are called the faders. Now, the faders are the ones that can deceive you easily, because they develop all right, they are okay, they do very fine until between 2 to 3 months they start fading. It's in the word. they start fading, their systems stop developing, their system stops. There is something that goes on in their system that stops them from growing properly, and they will eventually fade out. They will stop eating, they become lethargic. There is no amount of medicine, operation, or whatever it is that you can do to bring them back. Therefore, buy rabbit from known breeders who will sell breeding stock to you 4 months and above. Usually from 4 months, you know it's safe to buy them. Buy them at 4 months, keep them for another month and breed them. I would advocate, if you're buying a breeding stock, to buy them from 5 months. 2 weeks later, they are settled. They enjoy, they know their environment, they know their neighbors, and then they will grow into it. And then when you breed them, they have enough time. We usually breed our first dose at 5 months and 2 weeks, or 5 months or 6 months. So it's very important. The last one is very important. Please do not buy breeding stock less than 4 months. The recommended age to buy your breeding stock is 5 months. 5 months, you know they are fully developed, and make sure you go and choose your rabbit for your breeding stock. Don't bargain. I've never bargained with anyone that I've bought breeding stock for, because if you bargain, you will get bad stock. It's not something I do. I will tell you straight. You buy my price or forget it. And as you know, my breeding stocks, anyone who have bought my breeding stock have got a testimony. You can speak to them and they will tell you, go to Rabbito. Rabbito will give you the best stock for your breeding stock. That's because it's a little bit expensive, but that's because we've taken the time. You're buying them at an age where you just need 2 weeks to breed them. Sometimes I even breed them for you. So spend the money. The trees say adipa neto nehu. The guns ni pakpa ledenje hoy. So when you're buying something, have it at the back of your mind that this is an investment. Don't go and bargain, because for me, if you start chatting with me and you start asking for reduction when you're buying breeding stock, I don't answer anymore. And that's not me being cheeky. That's because we should learn. Ghanaian, African, you should learn that when you're doing something, you invest money. A lot of money have been invested in Rabbito Farmino. And when I sell you something, you know it's blessed. You know you're going to benefit from what I'm selling you. This is not a brag. This is the truth. That's the concept, to ensure that we all grow together, because I cannot supply, even Ghana alone, my area, I cannot supply the rabbits that's needed in my area alone. So it's very important for us to enlarge the market, invite more people to get into this and make sure we all benefit from it. Rabbito Farmino, thank you for watching. We've got a big series coming up this December. Remember last year we did a African Rabbit Farmers Award. We're going to do something different this time. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, please do so now, because we're coming to you with some wicked, wicked, wicked stuff. Rabbito Farmino. Thanks for watching. See you soon.